Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time on the channel, a special welcome to you. I ask that you check out the rest of my videos. If you like what you see, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment, but more than anything, I'm asking that you subscribe to the channel. Today's video is about Jamaica justice, fear versus fear. And when I say that, I actually mean, is Jamaica justice system fair, or is the Jamaican people afraid of the Jamaican justice system? It is renowned by citizens of the world that when it comes to Jamaica justice system, it's a bit iffy. Whether or not you're a Jamaican citizen, there has always been an overshadow of mistrust when it comes to the Jamaican system. Some people brand it as corrupt, and some people brand it as slow and behind time. In most of my videos on YouTube, I've always tried to teach the Jamaican people as much law as I know and the importance of legal knowledge living in any country, but in particular Jamaica, considering that my audience are mainly Jamaican. So recently I was watching a discussion about the upgrading and the reconstruction of the Jamaican justice system, where the Minister of Justice intends to invest $1 billion Jamaican dollars to get the Jamaican justice system up to par. This discussion was held between a member of the Jamaica Public Prosecution's Office, I believe his name was Adley Duncan, and a defense attorney by the name of Anne-Marie Furtado. The discussion was very interesting as both went back and forth as to whether or not the Jamaican legal system is where it's supposed to be at the moment, to the promises of the upgrade of Jamaican legal system. Some of the things that I heard during this discussion was disturbing for me to hear, but at the same time, to be honest, they weren't surprising. For example, Adley Duncan, while giving praise to the newly appointed Chief Justice of Jamaica, Brian Sykes, says that since the appointment of Brian Sykes, there has been an improvement in the justice system where quote-unquote trial date certainty has been applied to the Jamaican justice system, and that, in his opinion, is a positive effect. That did not disturb me. What he did say that disturbed me was that there has been more guilty pleas in the justice system, which have freed up the backlog of the court system. I was disturbed after hearing that because I had no other choice than to reflect back on the United States of America and how their justice system works. To a lot of people that are ignorant and that are naive to law and that are naive to their rights, the system usually force these people or coerce these people into pleading guilty by threatening them with a higher possible sentence versus a guilty plea who would guarantee them a lower sentence. And in most of those cases, innocent people who fear the justice system, who believe that the justice system is not for them because of their social class, just says they're guilty, and that itself sends a lot of innocent people. Adley Duncan, being a prosecutor, I can't blame him to see that as a positive thing. I know how prosecutors think. Prosecutors, judges, defense attorney, they're all lawyers. You have to be an attorney before you can hold any of those positions. But the difference between a defense attorney and a prosecutor is a defense attorney works to find his client innocent, whether or not that person is guilty. That's the job of a defense attorney, to get their client charges dropped. While on the flip side, a prosecutor has to do the opposite. Their job is to send you to prison, find you guilty, get you convicted, whether or not they know in their hearts of hearts that you are innocent. So what I'm trying to say is a prosecutor will see all the evidence that you're innocent for this particular charge, but because you're the person on trial, their job is to send you to prison to find any legal loophole that would beat your defense attorney and send you to prison. It's a sad reality, but that is how the justice system worldwide works. While judges are not supposed to be biased and supposed to actually weigh only the evidence, in respect of the discussion that I was listening to, there was a valid point that was made by Anne-Marie Furtado, and what she said was, judges are mere people. And that is the sad part, but that is also the part why Jamaican people are afraid of the justice system in Jamaica. Considering that judges are mere human beings, mere people with their own emotion, as much as law is supposed to be blinded and weigh only the evidence, these judges often get their emotion involved. Sometimes a judge may not like the way you look. You get judged by your appearance. Of course, this is not on record. And maybe a judge don't like the way your lawyer sounds, and sometimes this weighs their decision, even though by law, by prescribed law, a judge is supposed to remove their emotions from the case and only weigh which attorney, the prosecutor or the defense, prove their case best. And that's how judges are supposed to rule. However, in Jamaica, the Jamaican people and the rest of the world who knows of the Jamaican justice system doubt that that happens very much. Another thing that disturbed me about the Jamaican justice system that was revealed on this panel discussion was that it was determined in the year 2007 that the Jamaican justice system is too slow, too expensive, too unequal, too uncertain, too complicated, too fragmented, and too adversarial. And the sad thing about that, even though that was determined in 2007, we're now in 2019, and according to the panel, the view of the Jamaican justice system is still the same. However, giving all props to the Chief Justice that was appointed, Chief Brian Sykes was appointed on February 1, 2018, and he was sworn in March 1st, 2018. So, with all fairness, he is still new into his position, so give him some time to exercise his powers as Chief Justice of Jamaica. And I had to weigh up Mrs. Furtado arguments at the same time, because she was just saying, we're not there yet. We're not where we're supposed to be, a country with a justice system. That in itself will make expat Jamaicans who are living abroad and thinking about going back home afraid. You know, one of the things that offers security to me is to know that there's a fair justice system in any country that I live, including Jamaica, which is my birthland. In one of my recent videos that I did not so long ago, I mentioned how to sue a police officer, and a lot of the feedbacks that I got on that video and on other video that I mentioned legal steps in Jamaica, most people often say, well, due process is slow, or good luck with that. But you know what, due process is slow worldwide, and I understand because Jamaica is still dealing with books and not computers. It can only be slower in Jamaica. However, if everybody's going to have an attitude by saying good luck with that, there will never be a change in the Jamaican system. Jamaica is a country like any other country that's governed with a law, and we as a Jamaican citizen, we have to make sure that that law is exercised. Jamaican laws have been laying dormant for too long, and we, the new age adults, the new age Jamaicans, we have to make sure that the dust are off those books and make sure the laws are amended to apply to today's world, because most of those laws that are governing Jamaica dates way back before most of us that are watching this video was even born. One positive thing that I did learn while listening to the discussion was that mediation in Jamaica is now mandatory when it comes to civil cases. I did mention that in one of my videos that it would be great if Jamaica has what you would call a citizen advice bureau. Apparently, Jamaica does not have a citizen advice bureau, but they do have at the Norman Manley Law School a legal clinic that offers some free assistance to Jamaican people. However, to my knowledge, it's not for civil cases, it's only for some criminal cases. So it is disheartening to learn that if someone in Jamaica who does not have any money or any job, they cannot afford a representative in court. The Jamaican government needs to get on that. Most people think I always slate the Jamaican government. It may sound like I'm always slating the Jamaican government, only because there is so much work to be done in Jamaica. However, I did learn a few weeks ago that the Jamaican Ministry of Justice does have a website where the Jamaican people can actually access information about every single law in Jamaica. So that is a plus thing. So at the same time, if we want the courts to work for us, we have to also work with the courts. In other words, educate ourselves about the laws that govern Jamaica. Another sad reality of the Jamaica court system, from the DPP office, they say they only got 54 prosecutors to serve the entire Jamaica. 54 prosecutors to serve the whole of Jamaica. No wonder no one will ever see the justice system as moving at any pace. So Jamaicans need to be educated more, and when I say that, I mean a lot of Jamaicans need to take up law as a profession, go to UWI, take up some legal classes, or find any loophole that there is to make yourself legally educated that you could actually help the system. The prosecutors are just as necessary as attorneys. At the moment, it will take a minimum of 1 year to get a manuscript from a court. And they're saying the reason for that is because the Jamaican court lack sufficient court reporters. That is too sad. Too sad to listen to. So I would like some people that's listening to this to be inspired, or think they can actually be a help to the justice system. Jamaica does possess a lot of educated people, but also, like I'm saying, when it comes to law, when it comes to the Jamaican judicial system, there's a lot of people that do not trust it, and a lot of people that are fearful of it, only because we believe that it is riddled with corruption. One of the positive things that Anne-Marie Furtado did mention is that the Jamaican law does allow outsiders to visit court and sit and watch proceedings. Obviously, there would be some exception of some cases where the public cannot go and actually see how the courts, how our case is being processing, because witness need protection and so on and so forth. But on a general scale, the Jamaican public is allowed to go into court. I once had the opportunity to sit in a Jamaican court and watch the court proceedings. It was that court at Sutton Street. However, my experience was a very disappointing experience, but let me be honest, this was many years ago. I believe this was in 1998, and they were still using books. They were still writing with pen and pencil. This was how the stenographer, or the person supposed to be the stenographer, this is how this person was actually taking notes. They were writing in a book, and it was moving slower than a snail's pace. But that wasn't the part that disappoints me. You know, I understand. We don't have all the necessary equipment like the so-called first world countries, and this is how it had to be. However, the part that truly disturbed me was when the judge, a female judge, interrupted the case and said she had an hair appointment. She has to go get her hair done. The case was taking long, and she had to continue it another day. I was shocked, people. I couldn't believe that I was actually witnessing this, but all for the jokes aside, I witnessed that in Jamaica, and I hope that today it's not like that in Jamaica. Before I wrap up this video, there is one thing that I want to emphasize on. I mean, I've mentioned it in so many other videos, but I'll still mention it again just to educate my people about how legal system works. Like I said earlier, a lawyer, a prosecutor, and a judge, they are all attorney at law. That is the foundation of their occupation. Before they become judge, before they become prosecutors, before they become defense attorney and a lawyer is the same thing. They're all lawyers. But this one is pointing to the judge. Because in the discussion, what was said that was true and disturbing was that most Jamaican judges possess a prosecutional attitude. So that's where a judge is overreaching, overstepping their boundaries. So I want Jamaican people to know that judges have guidelines to follow. And if Jamaicans do know the fact that judges have guidelines to follow, and if Jamaicans educate themselves and know what these guidelines are, then they can identify when a judge is overstepping their boundaries. A judge cannot do as he or she wishes to do. There are guidelines to follow. The same like a judge cannot sentence you what he or she wishes to sentence you. That judge could personally despise you. That judge has a sentencing guideline to follow. If the judge likes you or consider your mercies that you've thrown at the court, the judge can give you the minimum sentence, but it has to be within the guideline of the law. If the judge resents you and think that you're the worst thing that ever came in from their presence, they can give you the maximum within that sentencing guideline. But they can't sentence you no more than that. That is a fact that I would like my Jamaican people to be aware of. Law is what governs every country of the world, and I advise all my viewers, Jamaicans or not, to educate yourself legally, because at some point of your life, at some point of your existence in this world, it is a knowledge that will come in very, very handy to you. Anyway, people, I look forward to hear your views on this one, because it's based upon one of my favorite subjects, law, and it is crucial and important to Jamaica and the Jamaicans that are living in Jamaica and Jamaicans that are thinking about returning to Jamaica. So I do look forward to hear what you guys have to say, but before I go, I have to big up some people.
Big up yourself to the maximum.
First person I want to big up is one of my subscribers by the name of Margie Phillips. Then I want to big up my other subscriber, one of my favorite subscribers, Joy. Joy, big up yourself. You always commented and you always give me and my family a shout out. And last but not least, I want to big up Nasdrew again, because Nasdrew, you have always typed hashtag it's big up, and I do appreciate that. So big up yourself, Nasdrew.
Big up yourself to the maximum.
And that's pretty much it for me today, people. Like I say, I'm anxious and I'm curious. I can't wait to read your comments on this one. But as you know, on my channel, I accept thumbs up and I accept thumbs down. I accept agreement and I accept disagreement, because at the end of the day, each one teach one. Until next time, people, peace.